Hello, Claire here from the WildEdge Works podcast. Thanks for joining us today. I'm out here in the woods. You can probably hear, I think that's a robin song in the trees above me. You can probably hear some leaves crunching under feet. I've come out with my wellies on because the sun is out. The daffodils and the crocuses and the snowdrops are out, but it is still pretty muddy underfoot around here. This is actually the second episode of the WildEdge podcast. I recorded and released the first episode last week, but I received some very well-meaning and well-intentioned and absolutely on-the-money feedback about it, was that there was an opportunity to make it even better. You know, I'm no stranger to podcasting. I've had 2 podcasts. I launched the first one in 2020. I've released hundreds of episodes. I know what I'm doing in terms of the tech. But of course, the business has changed. I'm now CEO of a new business. And so the same tired old format of me sitting in my office in a very nice set, essentially, with a very nice microphone, it doesn't represent the business that we're building. And so I was challenged to put my money where my mouth is and come out for a walk, because I know that what comes out of my mouth, and let's face it, I'm not entirely sure what that's going to be, I know that that is going to be 1,000,000 times more impactful for you if I'm in motion, out in nature, being inspired as I speak it. So this is the WildEdge Works podcast. It's going to be a mix of me talking, sharing stories from clients, sharing reflections, sharing gold, basically stuff that's going to help you. Some episodes will be with my co-founder and husband, Anthony Ackers, where he's going to share his thoughts. And some episodes will be the 2 of us walking and talking together about everything to do with nature and coaching and building a business and the outdoors, with all the nuance and cadence and context that building a business with your other half can have. So watch out for some fireworks there. And then the other piece is going to be your stories. So we are going to be inviting entrepreneurs, strategic business leaders to come out for a walk with us, to absolutely talk about your business, but also the adventures that shaped you. So if that's you, if you've got a story to tell, drop us a line. We'd love to hear from you. But for now, let's dive in to the WildEdge podcast. So what I'd really love to share with you today is the WildEdge story. And hopefully this will resonate with you if you're like us, if you are in the messy middle of business. And if you will, permit me a bit of a flashback. So one sunny Saturday morning, about 8 months ago, I decided that I was going to have a morning in bed. My business had been absolutely kicking my butt that week. And, you know, I'd been putting out fires left, right and centre. It was a bit too intense. I was dealing with some difficult clients at the time. And I just decided that I needed to have a morning in bed, reading my book, drinking as much coffee as I possibly could, and just chilling the F out. And of course, by 8:30, I jumped out of bed and declared that I had had my £1,000,000 idea. And I unrolled a massive roll of IKEA craft paper, which, if you've been in my world for a while, you will know is how I do all my business planning, and my clients do too. I unrolled this massive roll of IKEA craft paper on the bedroom floor in the Saturday morning sunlight and pinned down the corners with some of the kids' crap that was hanging around in the bedroom, and essentially mapped out a business plan. The framework, the niche, the promise, who we wanted to look after, all that stuff. And that was basically when WildEdge Works was born. And I'm very, very lucky in that my husband and co-founder was thoroughly on board. He got it, he was up for it, and it just felt aligned. And so we decided to go for it. But you see, this was not unusual for us. So since Ant and I got together in 2013, our dream, our plan, our wish has always been to move to the Lake District and open a retreat centre. We wanted to open a retreat centre and welcome heart-led, purpose-led, impact-led entrepreneurs and business leaders to help them have the breakthroughs and epiphanies out in the beautiful, beautiful Lake District, which is definitely my spiritual home. You see, on our second date back in 2013, Ant sent me coordinates, some GPS coordinates to a very remote area of the Dark Peak in the Peak District and told me to meet him there. Now, luckily, he turned out not to be a serial killer, and we met up and we had a beautiful hike together, and we went to go and see the World War II crash site, plane crash site, and we had a lovely time, and as the rest is history. But we have always spent our most formative, our most inspirational times outdoor together. We've done it as a couple, so our first holiday together was camping in the Lake District in Buttermere, where we went out on a massive walk. We bagged about 10 Wainwrights that day, and then we sat there drinking cider under the stars and watching the shooting stars, and quite frankly, that's the moment I fell in love with him. We've always hiked solo, so whenever I've had a challenge or a tricky time in business, Ant essentially sent me away to the Lake District on my own to go and seek out something blue, i.e. waterfall or lake, and go and have an adventure on my own. And I've always come back refreshed and figured it out, and he's done the same as well. And we've always hiked as a family as well. Our poor kids have been dragged up Wainwright since they were tiny, and they've learned to swim in mountaintop tarns and all that good stuff. So I will save the story of my 40th for another time, because that is a podcast episode in itself. But I asked for a spa day, and Anthony Ackers had decided to take it upon himself to drag me up Helvellyn via Striding Edge in 6 feet of snow and ice, because he thought I might still want to prove that I've still got it at 40. Now, I'm 44 next week, and he's just about survived to tell the tale, but I'm not sure he will try that one again in a hurry. But hopefully by now you're seeing a picture that every time we've had a challenge or a question, or we want to celebrate something, or we've just got something to figure out, we have taken ourselves off to the wild and always got the answer we were seeking. It has worked like a charm. However, as the years have gone by and the kids have got older and life has happened and COVID happened and all the things, it's just never been the right time for us as a family to move to the Lake District. And the dream has seemed like it's just been slipping further and further away. However, in truth, everything was quietly aligning in the background for WildEdge Works to be born. A really important part of the story is us escaping from what we describe as a golden cage business. So our first business, Ackers Recruitment, I launched when I was on leave with our second child, who is now 11. And that business, it looked awesome on paper. I'll probably do a full episode on this, because it really explains why we are so passionate that the business you build, it has to feel aligned in your version of success, or what's the point? But Ackers Recruitment, it did look awesome on paper. We had a great team, we had a great client list, we had offices. I was being invited on the BBC Business News as their careers expert. Our accountant was really happy with us. Everything was going really, really well. However, it honestly, it felt like somebody else's version of success. And everything changed for us when we gave ourselves permission to admit to ourselves that in essence, we hated recruitment, and we gave ourselves permission to stop living somebody else's version of success. And we decided when we were out walking in the hills above Haworth, we decided to give ourselves permission to go out and build our own versions of success. So for Anthony, that led to a business called Mountain Boardroom, where he took leaders up mountains for strategy days and did things like running corporate charity events, which was absolutely amazing. He trained as a coach, putting together his 20 years of strategic and operational experience in corporate environments, putting that all together to help brilliant business owners. And then he did all the necessary outdoor qualifications, so hill and moorland leader, mountain leader, outdoor first aid, all the things. And then at the same time, I was building Claire Ackers coaching, where I was helping values-led entrepreneurs build authentic and aligned businesses through programs like Audacity, Limitless You Academy, and my Imposter to Impact program. I also launched the Rewilding retreat, which is something I am so proud of. So we are now in the 4th year of running the Rewilding retreat, which offers the perfect blend of business, luxury, and adventures. And I also did my outdoor training, so hill and moorland leader, first aid, wild swim leader, open water lifeguard. You see, everything really was aligning in the background for WildEdge Works to be born. But like many people, in 2025 we hit a wall. It was like we were both running a million miles an hour, but working in silos. So I was terrible at anything involving an SOP or admin or any amount of detail, really. So my business was creaking around the edges. And at the same time, Ant was banging his head against a brick wall, trying to build a repeatable sales engine, which I think for him, he'd be the first to admit is not his zone of genius. And we were trying our best to help each other, but we were so stretched, bearing in mind that we had 3 young kids who were needing us more as they got older, not less. Plus, in 2024, we ended up moving house not once, but 2 times. Again, I'll save that story for a different episode, but it was horrendous and was a really tough time for us. It got to the point where we just knew that something had to give, and that is what led to that golden eureka moment on that sunny Saturday morning. So if we now fast forward to the present day, and at time of recording it is February 2026, and we have got a fully formed, fully operational, living, breathing business where we offer a range of services to business leaders, Trailblazer Days, the Rewilding Retreat, plus a full suite of one-to-one coaching packages. We've burned down the bridges for our old businesses, Claire Ackers Coach, Mountain Boardroom. Honestly, all our eggs are in the WildEdge Works basket. We have got 0 family support. We have got no other revenue streams. We have got no safety net. We have got no plan B. But we just 100% believe that this is the future of entrepreneurship, that we are building the gold standard of how purpose and impact-led business leaders become the leaders that their businesses need them to be, by having breakthroughs that they would never get sitting at their desk or in a boardroom. It is scary as F. But Ant and I, we just know. We just know in our heart of hearts that we are building our legacy. And I think it's really important to own that, we are fairly new into this pivot, into this new business. We're not claiming to have the perfect business or be on the cusp of 7 figures or have it all figured out. We're not going to try and tell you that we've got the secret blueprint to help you scale. We are messy, deeply flawed, raw individuals who have come together to build something that we 100% believe in. because it's worked for us and we believe that it can work for you too. What we can do is walk by your side and teach you how we do it so you can have your own breakthroughs. And we're calling ourselves Business Leadership Growth Engineers. It is a self first, strategy second approach with a bit of soul baked in. And we honestly believe we can help you become the leader that your business needs you to be. So thank you for listening to our story. Thank you for joining us for the journey. We're going to share the ups, the downs, the authentic truth behind building WildEdge Works. And please let us know if anything in our story has resonated with you. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you very soon.